is up, y'all? We are back for another Stranger Things Season 5 video. Before we get started, definitely smash the like button because it definitely helps, and make sure you're subscribed. So, to get into this, I want to talk about, what I think is going to happen in Stranger Things Season 5 with all the leaks, the rumors, and everything. What do I think is going to be, the whole plot with the final season of Stranger Things. So, to get into it, I've been talking about this for a while, and we've heard that the main focus is going to be Will Byers, basically. They kind of said he's going to be more focused on in Season 5, which I can see, because they were leading up with that in Season 4, everything with him and Mike, and just him kind of starting to become the center of attention, and then at the end, him grabbing his neck and saying he could still feel Vecna and stuff like that. So overall, I definitely think he's going to be very important in Season 5, and to be honest, I mean, if you're a diehard Stranger Things fan, you see this coming also, because you remember in the first part of the season, we seen everything kind of kick up with Will, how the vanishing of Will Byers, and the game with D&D and stuff. I genuinely think it's going to be a full circle moment with Stranger Things Season 5, and let me tell you why. Just because when it kicks off, they're playing D&D in the basement and stuff like that, and Vecna, that character comes from D&D, and it's almost like, it sounds crazy, it's almost like they're living in one big, live action D&D game, with the Demogorgons, the Mind Flare, and Vecna and stuff like that, when you sit there and think about it. But when you push forward and everything always kind of connected with Will, especially now that we have Vecna involved, and I explained that issue with 11 and 1, in the Rainbow Room. We kind of found out that 11 the one who's opened the gate. So it's almost like everything is still coming full circle behind the scenes, but I think it's going to be more vivid, in Season 5. And then we just got this, this leaked video with Will actually screaming at Steve Harrison, telling him, to run and stuff like that. So that was a crazy thing, kind of seeing that it's possible that Will is stuck in one of Vecna's curses, or they're involved with Vecna in that moment. And to be honest, I think Will Byers is a goner. Him and possibly Steve Harrison. I just think I don't think it's going to just be one death. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people are speculating it might just be one death they send us off with. I think it's going to be like this. So what I mean, okay, for example, A-list character in Stranger Things is like a Will Byers. Like a B-list character will be someone that's like, I wouldn't say Jonathan. It will be someone like, for example, how Mary was. I think it'll be like something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like a B-list or a C-list character, someone that's not too prominent. But overall, I think we're gonna get an A-list character's death, and then we're gonna get a B-list character's death, just because I think that just is how it's gonna flow. But right there in that scene, when we're hearing that, they're screaming, you hear the director say, grab him by the throat, I think that's going to be a bad scene. What I mean by bad is it's not going to end well for Steve Harrison. I think Steve Harrison is going to be a goner. I know a lot of people are saying that they don't think that's going to happen, but I'm speculating that right there in that very moment that he's a goner, it's over. Because they already planned to kind of take Steve Harrison out earlier in the seasons, but his name got so big as the babysitter, and people began to love Steve Harrison's character. And Joe Curry is an amazing actress. So I think that it's going to be right there at that moment. I can be wrong, but I can see them erasing Steve Harrison early, like probably in the middle of the TV series to get some build up, or probably a little later. Either way, it's going to hurt. I feel like when Eddie Munson passed, it hurt all of us, man. We just got introduced to Eddie for real, and it hurt us. So imagine when we're getting people snatched away from us that was involved in the series for a long time. So overall, I think it's going to end the way it started, and that was with Will Byers. That's what I haven't heard too many people speak on that really. It's kind of, a lot of people are kind of having these complicated opinions and, thoughts on Stranger Things, which is okay. Like, I think sometimes as Stranger Things fans, there's so much going on, in Hawkins, that we began to go in these rabbit holes and things like that, and dig ourselves into deeper ones, and we kind of get like tangled with theories. But whole time, I think it's going to be very simple. Like, it's just going to be like end the way it started. You know what I'm saying? I think it's going to be one of the most iconic endings in, TV show history, to be honest, just because the Duffer Brothers are doing an amazing job. Sean Levy is going to be doing a few episodes and stuff like that. So I'm excited for that. Push forward. Like, okay, for example, with the Dear Billy episode, I feel like with the Dear Billy episode and just like the back half of Stranger Things Season 4, that kind of showed us they're capable of. Like, that ending was so iconic, with the Kate Bush in the background and stuff like that. So we definitely know what they're, capable of doing and everything like that. So Definitely, I can't wait to see what happens with this. Like I said, I think it's going to end the way it started, which is with Will Byers, but it could be different. We saw, possibly, just take it with a grain of salt, some of the titles of the episodes. This is just rumors and stuff like that. And one of them was the vanishing of Blank Wheeler. You know, I said that it can be Karen Wheeler just because, you know, she was filming a little early. Maybe she's the one who vanishes. But it's a theory out there in the Stranger Things community that it can be Holly Wheeler, you know, the little sister of Mike and Nancy, which I can see that happening just because, you know, when you sit here and think about everything, she's young. It'll be a good starting point, you know, just because she has no, like, she can't defend, you know, for real, like how the older kids can. So she can just be the one, like, that creates a lot of the story when it first kicks up, and it could just be like another full circle moment. So we had, you know, Will Byers, a Byers go missing, now a Wheeler's going missing. So, you know what I'm saying? It could connect in that way. Overall, you know, a lot of people also said in that scene where you hear the screaming and stuff, they think it's Jonathan. I don't think it's Jonathan. I think it's like, I think that's Will. You can just hear Will. But at first, you know, we all speculated it to be Dustin Henderson, but it's obviously Will Byers. You can just hear it as clear as day. And people said they saw him with binoculars on set and stuff like that that night of that filming and things like that. So it all makes sense. But to get into it, we see a lot of stuff, you know, with hospitals and things like that. A lot of people have been kind of questioning Max Mayfield's, you know, screen time and things like that. Overall, I think Max Mayfield will be involved in Stranger Things season 5 just because, you know, she's a great character. You know, a lot of people love Max. I know I love Max. Sadie Sink is an amazing actress, but, you know, to push forward, I think she's going to be in the bed, like on bed rest for a long, like, period of time in the TV show, but not too long to the point it's to the end. I think it's going to be like a build up. Like, we're seeing her heal with Lucas. Friends are coming to visit her, and, you know, she's starting to still probably have little dreams and issues with Vecna. But, you know, it's almost like how I remember how Will was kind of stuck in that, like, trans when, you know, Joyce was trying to help him and Jonathan, he was on bed rest. I think that's what Max will go through, something similar to that, probably a little lighter, but they're going to try to help her and stuff like that, and eventually they're going to, you know, actually get her out. And I've heard another crazy theory out there where they said that people said that they think that Max is going to be able to help the kids and everything in a group with Vecna, because she's going to be able to see things due to, you know, her issues with Vecna, her just being like a fingernail away from, you know, checking out on us. She's going to be able to see a lot of things with Vecna. She's going to be the eyes and stuff like that. But I mean, that sounds great. I'm not going to lie. You know, she's going to have problems with seeing and stuff like that, you know. But I think when you push forward, maybe Will Byers is going to be the eyes. Like, I can see, you know, this sounds crazy, guys. I can see Will Byers actually playing both sides. I don't know why. I can see him playing both sides. Like, almost, I wouldn't be surprised if Will actually sets up his friends. Like, it might get that dark to the point he's like a puppet for Vecna. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that might be what happens. Like, he might become a puppet for Vecna, because at the end of season 4, he's already like kind of, it's getting worse. He's like, I feel him and shit is flashing and shit. So I think that he might become a puppet where he might, you know, lure them into a dangerous situation. Maybe that's what happens in that scene with Steve Harrington. Maybe one of his first victims is Steve Harrington. He's kind of like, you know, using Will to kind of get them in situations where he could take them out easily, man. Overall, yeah, I think that's what could possibly happen, but I could be wrong. This is just me speculating as a Stranger Things fan. I've heard rumors about Vecna having a new look, kind of similar to how he looks in the game of D&D with the hood and everything, like Skeletor, like a Skeletor look. But I can be wrong. That's just a rumor. Take it with a grain of salt. It's a lot of rumors out there with Stranger Things. One thing I want to cover also before we head out is that, you know, we just got some info with Cobra Kai. You know, the new Cobra Kai season. I'm a big fan of Cobra Kai. Can't wait for that. But they actually revealed that it's going to be filmed. It's going to be released in 3 parts. And now it has like the Stranger Things community kind of just rumbling about what if, you know, season 5 is released in, you know, 3 parts. Overall, I mean, we got 8 episodes. I want to say 8 episodes. I would just like it all at once. I mean, just spreading it out. I mean, they did do that with season 4. We kind of took a break. Maybe a 2-part, but like 3, I don't know about 3. That's probably stretching it, man. 3 is probably stretching it just because that's kind of almost like y'all trying to prolong it. Like, just kind of make it a little longer, but it's the whole time it's like short for real. That's the vibes I get. But overall, I definitely, you know, see Stranger Things season 5 being the best season for sure, 100%. I don't see no other season being better than that one, especially after what we left off for season 4. So yeah, guys, Comment down below what you all think about these speculations for Stranger Things season 5, and how do you feel? How do you think this will end? Do you think that I'm on to something? You know, everything I just talked about, just share your thoughts in the comments. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, smash that like button on your way out. But unfortunately, it's the end of the video. I want y'all to hit me up on my social medias at ILIKESCARY on Instagram, ILIKESCARY_ on TikTok, Brandon on Facebook, ILIKESCARY on Twitter. And yeah, you all right there where it says subscribe next to it. Click join and become a member of the channel. I will see you all in the next one. Peace. Until next time, y'all.